Welcome to the Copy Talk Podcast. Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer member, FINRA SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Financial planning services through Lighthouse Financial, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Shannon Ross is CEO and managing partner of Lighthouse Financial. Lighthouse and Cambridge are not affiliated. And now, here's your host, Shannon Ross.
Well, happy Thursday, everyone. Happy Thursday, April. It's a new week here at the Copy Talk studio. It's still summer. It's a little chilly today in Colorado, but
I know. So our high is 68 today, which is why I woke up in a good mood, because what does this mean is coming? Fall and football.
Your favorite season.
30 days from today, August 27th. Well, so college football starts, and then Bama plays a few days after that. But it officially starts on August 30th. I'm sorry, August 27th.
What are you about to say? Something?
I was expecting Ryan to speak up. Come on. Hello.
Well, it's cloudy outside. Everyone's kind of.
Who does Alabama open with? Pine Creek High School?
Are you supposed
You
to?
know what Nick
to be
Saban does. You know they play Little Sisters of the Poor every year to begin the season.
You know, to be fair, you are right. Now,
Yeah,
I will say
thank
this.
you.
I just checked their schedule the other day, and I can't recall who their first game is, but you know who they play. I think is it their second game? They play UT Austin this year, which I think will be an interesting. They're going to kill them, but I think it's going to be an interesting. Okay.
Well, they're buddies.
I'm
They're
excited
buddies
for the
now.
A&M
They're in
game.
the SEC together.
Yep.
It's so we'll who do they? Do you actually know who their first game was? Not that I expect you to know Alabama's schedule.
I would expect
No.
you to know
Crap about-
Alabama's
I'll say it's like rice.
It's so random. Well, I actually looked at it the other day, but then Ryan brings it up. So I'll blame it on Ryan that I can't remember. And it probably is basically a borderline high school team. But those teams make a lot of money on those. I mean, it's a big deal for those teams to play.
Yeah. Well, I'm
hot
excited
shot
for
team.
you.
Oh,
We
this
love
is
fall. My husband loves
interesting.
the fall
What?
too, so.
So, Mount West connection, Utah State is who Alabama will play
Really?
to start the
Oh.
season.
Oh,
Utah
that's
State.
shocking. Am I rubbing?
We're
it in?
only like
yes, a little bit.
we're only like
Very
one
close this
step
morning.
away from Air Force in Alabama.
Hey, I'm in for it.
Why not?
Why not?
I'm here for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Utah State, then Texas, then Louisiana Monroe. That's their
Oh,
little
that's
sisters
When
of
do they
the
play
poor.
UT Austin? Because it's
Then
not
very next week,
Okay.
September 10th.
okay. So see. So yes, I was excited this morning. Fall is in the air. We're
Yes.
gonna go back up. I already looked at the extended
I
forecast,
know.
but the
Summer's my favorite, so I
68
always get sad when I see it start to dwindle
I know
because we get it for like 2 months.
I know. Well,
So-
I will say. So I wore my Alabama shirt because
Yes, you did.
Alabama. But you want to know why I wore my Texas hat today?
because they're melting.
Yes. Shout out to Texas.
Poor
We have some
Texan
Texas
brothers and sisters out there.
we have some listeners. My parents. Hey, Bob, Marilyn. They're just trying. They're all melting into the concrete.
I know.
You know
It's
what? They're all-
bad.
it's like
triple digits like every day. I don't remember a summer like this.
yeah. I talked to my mom last
very
night.
long
They're
time.
scorching. Like people
Yeah.
are watering their foundations.
Their houses are melting.
They're melting. Well, they're
My
all being
house doesn't
cremated
melt
together.
there. Yeah.
They're all being cremated together. That's what's
Well, that's
happening.
a little
Rest in
morbid.
peace, Texas. Like,
You're all going to die.
it's a massive cleanup
Sad.
effort.
I know. Well, hopefully not too much. I got some vested real estate there, so
I know you do. It'll be
I know.
fine. And my parents are trying to escape to Colorado, but I don't think they're going to get here till September. So
Oh,
yeah, well, they got one thing after another going on.
yeah.
They're busy, retired people. Anyway.
Yeah, it is hot there.
So I wanted to-
yes, to support them.
Shout out to Texas.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
At least they're not running out of water like Arizona.
I hadn't
So-
heard that headline yet.
I've heard that
How are they
there are
running out
like
of
people
water?
predicting that Arizona will run out of water in like 30 years. Which is who knows if they're right, but
Why are they running out of water?
because
Somebody help
the
me.
desert and just the consumption and the growth and it can't support it
Really?
long term and because of the increased heat index there
Well, okay,
because
does
it keeps
Lake
going up.
Lake
Global warming
Mead-
is real, obviously. I mean, like it is happening. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, and
are you gonna tell the Arizona people they're gonna die too?
no.
You're all gonna be cremated.
No, they got like 30 years. I don't know when the mass exodus is gonna happen.
Yeah,
but,
who knows?
Okay, so does Lake Mead have anything to do with water for Arizona? Because Lake Mead, now they're finding like human remains in Lake Mead. Yeah, they found that old World War II boat ship or something. Now they're finding dead bodies. And so, okay, side note, I know we need to keep going, but
dead bodies.
This is what I
You're
think
full
about.
of information this morning and really excited.
Okay.
I like it.
This isn't even a whole cup of coffee today. This is what 68 degrees and thinking of football does to me. Okay, so so Lake Mead, so they're finding all these human remains, like a person found in a barrel with a gunshot wound to the head, that kind of stuff. You know that whoever's still out there that's still alive that killed any of these people, with the advanced technology of like testing, they are, in their pants right now because they thought they got away with it. But nope. This is where it comes back to bite you in the booty because Lake Mead is dwindling. That's bad, by the way.
Yeah,
but we could have some unsolved mysteries. Come to
we should have a new segment of unsolved mysteries.
Don't get me started. I'd be all over that. I'm like a little Nancy Drew. I would be fine with that. What are you about to say?
Lake Mead does supply water to Arizona, but I was just going to say now I think is the perfect time for you to slide in the financial news of the week, given that we're talking about bodies in barrels and melting Texas. And I feel like it's we generally build our way up to a more positive ending to the show.
Hold on. You are totally circumventing my. I know we haven't.
I'm not circumventing. I'm rearranging.
No. But I have a product.
I know that
but he's saying continue
after.
on
I'm
with the
saying
morbid
we build
news
up
and then go all positive.
Right, because we go the positive, like get glowing skin and all this kind of stuff, and it's like the Fed raised interest rates. And it's like
don't. But the market is responding fairly well this morning, which I'm shocked about.
They are,
but for now. But we'll see.
We'll get to you.
Okay.
I feel like maybe I was making
Just someone tell me when to talk, and then I'll do my segment.
I feel like Ryan, I thought maybe I was making him anxious with all the death talk. And so he was like, okay, move on. But maybe no.
No, we can start a true crime podcast in the middle of the show.
Okay, so I'll hurry. So because Ryan is very excited about your financial piece. So I'm gonna move through this quick. All right. I know this is gonna shock everybody, but I couldn't make a decision
April
this morning.
Todd show this morning.
Stop.
I like it.
Stop. I got you.
I appreciate that.
All right. I know I always say something is a staple, but all right. Sunday. Okay, I'll make this fast. Sunday Riley, good jeans. This is probably one of my higher price points. I know I made you buy this, which you've never gotten back to me on, which I think is very strange.
I don't use it anymore. But the name alone is so confusing to me. This is a facial product, and it's called Good Jeans.
I'm with you.
And then Sunday Riley, is that a person? Is that a brand?
It's a brand. So Sunday Riley is a brand, and actually one of my favorite brands. They can be pretty pricey.
Random name.
It is random.
I wonder why it's called that.
I will Google, not right now, but find out for you.
So I guess good genes as in like genetics.
Yes, except it has nothing to do with genetics if you're putting it on your face. You make a great point.
I don't understand. I'm so confused by that name.
You make a great point. I'll find out.
Okay.
But okay, this is kind of pricier. This little guy right here is $85. But it does last me a really long time. I only use it in the morning. I would love to use it at night, but again, and there's one larger than this that's $122.
Oh my gosh.
I probably should invest in that one because I don't ever run out of this. So, but I'm assuming it's a better bang for your buck if you buy the $122, but I just can't spend that at one point. So the trending phrase right now is glazed donut. So have you heard this?
No.
Women want their face when they go to bed to look like a glazed donut. And maybe after they do their makeup, I don't know. I personally love that, and I know what it means, and I know why. This will help you get there for sure. Now, I use it before I do my makeup in the morning, but if you want to look like a glazed donut before you go to bed, this product, I will say, for me, it's worth every penny. This makes your face look, if some people haven't heard the glazed donut trend, if you did not see the interview with is it Hallie or Hallie Bieber, Mrs. Bieber, however you pronounce her first name. She didn't coin the phrase, but I think she kind of started this massive, it kind of caught on with her.
Gotcha.
But it makes your face look It's almost like a glassy, super moisturized. And I don't know that there's a morning
I
I don't
thought it
use
was a
this.
moisturizer, but it's not. It's a
Well, it's a lactic acid treatment. But people use it as, I mean, it does moisturize. So that it's not surprising that that's what you can use it for.
Mhm.
So I think this little guy is amazing. And it only takes a very small amount. You apparently didn't love this as much as me. But
Well, I
everybody
forget
else that
about
I
it because
recommend
I'm like, where does that
you
go?
can't spend $85 on a product and forget
Well, it'll
about it.
last a long time.
Yeah, that's true. You know, if something happens to you, I'm
Yeah.
gonna take that off your hands.
Like, okay, so you told me when I got it myself, you told me to put it on, I think before primer,
Yes.
right?
So
that's again, I think that's why I don't use it because I'm
Okay.
like, I'm putting primer on my face, which feels like moisturizing. Like it feels like too many layers.
so that's
For
that's
me.
fair. That's fair.
But I get
But
that. I mean,
you-
moisturizing your face. I mean, no one wants lines.
No, well, I will say this. You also have oilier skin
Yeah.
than me. I have pretty dry skin, so I cannot moisturize my face enough in
Got
my mind. I actually do after I moisturize, after I do all of my little serums and all the things and space out and do my all the things. And do my spray pink drink, which I almost brought today, but we'll hold on to that one for another day. Then I put this on, and then I put my Radiance primer over this.
You should count your steps. I want to know how many steps to. That would be good to know.
Well,
I would like to know that.
Depends. I'll let you know. You watched me, so
I know.
So, anyways, I think this is an amazing product.
Yes.
If you want to have the glazed donut look, and who doesn't? Okay. I wanted all the ladies to know about this product. Okay, we have all used dry shampoo, I would assume.
Yes.
If you haven't, that's great. If you haven't, but I am known for not washing my hair for a solid, I don't know, 7-8 days. I don't want to wash. I don't want to wash the mop. I don't want to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
So I need to refresh it. This brand, so it's R&Co, but what they have come out with, so Dry Shampoo Mist, if you are familiar with a dry shampoo, one of the hardest places to get those just greasy little guys out of the front of your hair, it's like seemingly impossible. This is the only dry shampoo, and yet it's a mist. So if you're not watching, you won't know. But it's a liquid. Yeah.
Does it smell good?
Yeah. You spray that on your hair. Oh, okay. No, it has to sit for 30 seconds first.
Oh.
Yeah, and then you. Okay, you should let me tell you the steps. That was fantastic. Nobody edit that part out. Make sure you got, like, that needs to be what happens on the YouTube. Yeah. So you don't have a blow dryer right now. That's okay.
You need one.
Well, you don't have curly hair, so it's not like you're going to go curly.
Yeah.
I go curly. So you spray this on. It sits for 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Rub your fingers, whatever, through it. And then ideally, you have a blow dryer on hand. So you talk about, this gets every amount of grease out of your hair. And I don't even care how many days it's been since you have not washed your hair. Even you, because I know you sweat a lot.
I do. When I work out, I sweat. She doesn't sweat.
I know. Dang it. I wish I
My
sweat
daughter
more.
doesn't either, but yeah, I do.
It's better that you sweat. This right here, this guy, game changer. I know I say that word all the time, but
I like how it's called spiritualized.
It's called spiritualized, and it gives you volume.
Huh.
So it gives you volume, and it takes all the grease out.
But you have to use a hairdryer. Do you have to use a hairdryer?
You probably don't have to.
Okay.
I do, because I think that gives you more volume.
Got it.
And I have naturally curly hair.
Sure.
So anything wet on my hair is fine. Okay. This, I don't know of another brand that does this. I'm sure there may be one out there. This is the only dry cleansing conditioner. This is a dry conditioner spray. It smells amazing. You don't have to use a blow dryer. So, like, when I'm going on day 5, and there's a lot of product that's been going on through this hair, and eventually it does, it's not the best odor. You spray this, especially underneath and all around. Amazing. You want to smell it?
So is it meant to be like so a dry cleansing conditioner?
Yeah, so it's like a dry conditioner versus a dry shampoo.
I've never even thought of a concept of a dry conditioner.
Well, I've always wondered why somebody didn't invent this. If you can have dry shampoo, why can't you have a dry conditioner? They did.
Just to make what's the purpose?
Well, so it's to make
your hair softer.
It's going to make it softer. It's going to cleanse out some of the product buildup that you're going to have on your hair.
Gotcha.
It helps a little bit with shine. It just kind of revitalizes what's looking pretty dull by day 5.
Interesting.
Or maybe day 3 for some. Yeah.
Does this replace dry shampoo?
No,
this doesn't take. This doesn't take oil out. That takes oil out. The dry shampoo takes oil out. And then this just gives it a shine.
Well, it's going to help break down some of the buildup and like So I only use dry shampoo on the top of my hair because, I mean, if you're going to do dry shampoo all over your hair, why don't you just go wash your hair? I don't.
Because it takes 2 seconds.
Well,
I mean, she like thinks my routines are horrid. So like I use a powder dry shampoo that I buy on Amazon, and I flip my hair over, and then I just, so like even today you can see like a lot of dry shampoo in my hair.
Which is
that's
why
white.
sometimes I have
I
to
look
go,
gray.
are we going gray? Okay, so that's prime example.
Yes.
You should probably switch to this, but that's just
okay.
me. Yeah, those are my. So I brought the dry shampoo because I think it's amazing, but I also brought the dry conditioning because I don't know of another.
R&Co.
R&Co.
Do you get all of these things at Sephora?
No, they don't sell this at Sephora.
Where do you go get that?
So you're probably going to have to find this at a salon. I don't know that they're carried in any stores right now. They are gaining a lot of traction. This is what my hairstylist used. She got me started on this. Okay. I buy everything from her because when I'm there. And I would say these price points are in your mid to high 20-ish, but these are going to last you a really long time. Which is typical
for dry shampoo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good to have.
And that's going to last you.
As long as I don't need a hairdryer.
Well, but you don't have to. You break all the rules, girl. You do you.
Okay.
Okay. So that's my
Those
product
are good
segment.
Products.
Yep. I still think good jeans is something you should continue to invest in, but we'll have that.
Yes,
I'll just talk about that offline.
We'll have to.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
here's Ryan's favorite segment.
And I hear that you're not necessarily going to drop the below that you thought you were.
Yeah, I was actually predicting that last week I was predicting that today we would see another, I was fearful of another 10% correction for a little bit more of a downward spiral. But because the Fed met yesterday, like we talked about last week, and decided to increase yet again another 0.75%, which is quite high. But because I think everyone was expecting it, the market is not so sensitive today as I thought it would be. We'll see if that holds. It had a little bit of a rally, actually. So we'll see. But
and why do you think that is?
I think
because 0.75%, it's still a lot.
Yeah. Jerome Powell, who's the Fed chair. So he also said that he expects these hikes to slow as the year continues, and they're going to kind of see the impact. So I think it helped everyone, us, that they have a realistic goal in mind, that they're not trying to, kill the economy. They're not trying to create a recession. They're trying to be responsible, tightening monetary policy, which is important because runaway inflation, inflation is over 9% now. Right. So it's going in the wrong direction. And so I think because he alluded to maybe when they meet again in September, there wouldn't be an increase again. Okay. That people kind of feel like, okay, the hemorrhaging is done. We know what we have. Let's kind of just, we can have some time and just see what's going to happen. Have they increased interest rates enough to combat inflation? Is inflation going to start going down between now and September? So I think, who am I? But I think that has somewhat of why the market isn't responding, like a spoiled child today. But that's still quite a hike, like you said. Yeah. So how it impacts all of us is whenever the Fed hikes interest rates, every single adjustable interest rate that we have in our lives through car loans or home equity lines of credit, if you're out there trying to get a mortgage, all of those rates will continue to rise. So I was checking before the show. So car rates right now, you're seeing about 4.84% for a 60-month car loan, over 5% for a 36-month car loan. Keep in mind, these were in the ones and twos, if not, certain auto manufacturers were at 0% financing a couple of years ago, or even up to a year ago. With housing rates, if you're out there for a 30-year fix, the national average right now is 6.38%.
Oh my gosh.
So think about, for those who didn't refi when interest rates were 2.5%, or if you're having to move right now, or, there's really nothing you can do. You need a mortgage. Yeah. So if you can find something in the 5s, I think you're winning right now.
Or should people try to, how do you feel about renting until rates go down? What do you feel, especially in the housing market?
I think right now, it's, if you have to buy a house right now, you have to buy a house. Like if you're moving cities or states or whatever. If you are someone who wants a different house just because you want a different house, I think if you can wait another probably year, because again, and I'm going to talk about this in a second, but because we are going to have economic downturn over the next 2 years. It's just inevitable. Everything is pointing in that direction. And I don't know, it's funny, even you're going to hear the word recession like 1,000 times a day between now and 2 years from now.
Yeah.
And there's really no conclusive definition of what a recession is. It's just an economic downturn is the point of agreement throughout the world of what a recession represents. And so more and more people with adjustable rates out there are not going to be able to afford their homes. So similar to what we saw in 2007 and 2008. The foreclosures, I think, because again, I've been dealing in real estate. I'm not a real estate agent or anything like that, but I've done a lot of investing through in real estate in the last 15 years. Is that when people can't afford their mortgage, they can't make payments, their homes foreclosed. So I think in a year from now, if you need a home, see where interest rates are going. But I think you'll have a lot more deals because people will be more desperate because they won't be able to afford their mortgages. So you're going to see a higher rate of potential foreclosures or short sales, similar to what we saw in 2007 to 2009.
Okay. So, but what I mean is, I was more thinking along the lines of, so let's say they have to move out of state. They've been relocated or whatever. Do you think they should rent
I think it's
in
6
that
to 1,
state?
half dozen to the other, because that landlord is probably going to have to charge higher rent because their interest rate might be going up. So I think if you can find a good deal and you need a house, it's always better to buy because then you're at least building equity in that house.
Okay.
So if you can buy when you can buy, still buy. Because rent, you're helping someone else pay off their mortgage.
Sure, yeah. I just meant till rates go down, but I see what you're saying.
I don't think rates are going to go down anytime soon. So I would say if you have to buy a house, just do it now because the rates are going to be what they are.
Sure.
Probably for the next several years. But what you can find in opportunity out there, or if you're a cash buy, some people are cash buyers. If you have the cash to buy, maybe something more nominal, but you can pay cash. In a year from now, cash will be king. Because if you can come in and you can pay cash and you can take advantage of foreclosures, which attract cash buyers, that would be the optimal opportunity. But most of us can't pay cash for homes.
Sure.
So, we have to get mortgages. You're not going to save much, I don't think. I think interest rates will continue to go up for a while. But with moving, most of the time you don't have a choice.
Right.
But if you do have a choice, maybe stick where you are because, you probably have a better rate than what's out there now.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, this isn't necessarily. So do you think this is the peak of the inflation bazooka, as you termed it last show?
I think we are at the peak of inflation. I don't think we're at the peak of the economic downturn. So what the International Monetary Fund, who it's really the organization that monitors like global GDPs, which
can you tell us what
yes
GDP
so
is?
GDP, it's like the monetary measure that all countries tend to use to kind of measure their economic health. It has to do with goods and services. It has to do cost of living. What are the inflation rates? It all kind of goes into this number. And so every country has a different percentage of gross domestic product that country generates. And so what the International Monetary Fund just released is that they were projecting GDP to grow 3.2% in 2022. But they've downgraded their projections now to slow to 2.9.
Okay.
So every time you're producing less, people are spending less. It's any number that goes down is bad, in the GDP world because it's showing economic slowing. So they're making adjustments to all of their projections. The World Bank is doing something similar where they slashed their growth outlook from 4.1% to 2.9% as well for 2022. And so what you're seeing is just the reputable institutions that measure this, that kind of make these projections, are all having pretty significant downturns in their projections because of global inflation. It's not just here, it's throughout the world. We have it's funny. I was, right now inflation globally is on average 6.6%. In emerging markets, which are like third world countries, it's 9.5%. And at the US, it's 9.1%. So our inflation is as high as like third world nations right now, which is crazy to me.
Wow.
So three things are really, kicking our butts globally. Global inflation, the China slowdown, because there's more and more lockdowns now, which will then create more supply chain shortages here again because of their outbreaks in COVID still, and then the war in Ukraine. So I know it's so depressing, but it's just going to be, but we have to have eyes wide open. We just have to, you don't have to get depressed about it. It's just, but you can't ignore it. What I don't want people to do is like put their head in the sand and not, and be in denial.
Well, right now, I don't know how you could ignore it.
Right.
I mean, it's just, it impacts
if you can hold on to
everything.
the car you have right now, hold on to it. If you can hold on to the house you have right now, hold on to it. If you don't have to make big high item spends, don't. It's just a time, the Fed is doing monetary tightening. You should do monetary tightening. Don't spend $20,000 on a vacation right now. Don't do the high thing, because those wells that have been just replenishing, they're going to start to draw down like Lake Mead. We'll tie it into the beginning of the show.
There's a reason I brought that up.
So what can you do? You can pay off adjustable loans if you have a little extra cash, so that those interest rates, you don't want to have to pay double for the same amount of loan.
Right.
So, so you have to, and find a financial planner. Call Lighthouse Financial. We'll help you, which is my firm. Whatever it takes to plan, what different monetary changes can you make to pay down so your debt doesn't cost you as much as it could? Or what can you do to bolster your savings account? Or what can you do to dollar cost average right now in the stock market as stocks are on sale? What kind of things can you do to capitalize on these opportunities?
Sorry, I've been wanting to say that.
Yeah. Well, capitalize on these opportunities and see it as an opportunity than just something completely depressing. So that's all you can do. We have these like every 10 years. I saw, like 2008 was a lot worse than it is now,
Oh, yeah.
So we're not anywhere near.
I think I keep
that.
comparing to 2008. So in my mind, I'm like, well, I mean, we're not, at least it's not that.
Right.
Maybe I know other
and
people
no one's predicting the recession to be like that. Like they don't expect right now, at least, unemployment to tank like it did and foreclosures to at the rapid rate they did, so there's certain things that happened because of 2008 that should never happen again.
Okay.
But it's still urgent enough to pay attention, to look at your own budget, to look at your own spending habits and see where you can cut and shave and just kind of bolster what you require to live on, just in case, because I don't know how long this is going to last. So.
Okay. I thought of a funny meme, but I don't know if it's appropriate for the show. So it had to do with gas prices.
Oh, can you give us the PG version?
Well, it's nothing like what I told you guys before the show. Nowhere near that.
April's great for obscene stories.
Oh my gosh. Okay, can I say it?
Sure.
Okay. There's a meme out there that says, with the rise in gas prices, I've just decided to snort a lot of cocaine and run everywhere. We do not promote drug use on this show by any means, but I laughed at that. I actually have a good little empowerment story today why you should not do drugs.
Oh, well, good. Well, let's end on a high note. I'm done talking about economics. It's depressing.
Well, okay, but the high point, you see things as an opportunity, cut where you can.
Yeah.
Buy the dip
enjoy life. Enjoy the simple things of life. Go on a walk. Pick flowers outside. I don't know. There's still enough that we all have to be thankful for.
Absolutely.
If you have your health, it's all about finding things every day just to be grateful about. Because there's always going to be, stuff happening in the world. And don't watch the news.
Okay, well, I have to so I can find these great little stories for us. I'm going to save my good one for the end. And that's a short one. So I have real quick. All right, you ready?
Yes. I love this segment.
So I'm not going to title this "How Stupid Can You Be?" And if you are listening for the first time, you won't know what that means. But we have had 2 previous shows where I had a segment called "How Stupid Can You Be?" You should go listen to those. But I'm going to title this one, since we are also an empowerment show.
Yes.
This is, I want to empower our listeners to not do drugs. And here is why.
Go, Nancy Reagan.
Larry, should I say name?
No.
Oh, it's in the article.
Larry, a guy named Larry.
You know what's even good is this is Larry and Jimmy. And so Larry and Jimmy went noodling. If you don't know what noodling is, number one, you need to listen to Kathleen Madigan's skit, Bothering Jesus on Netflix, because you will learn what noodling is. But essentially what noodling is it is a way of, yep, I loved it. Ryan knew. It's
so
a way
smart.
to catch fish. They go to catfish breeding holes. They're in I guess they're rivers, right? They're okay. And they stick their hand into the catfish breeding hole and they pull a fish out. You should seriously listen to her joke on it because it's hilarious. But Larry and Jim, this is a true story, go noodling. And along the south, they were in the Canadian River. Larry claimed that while at the river, he discovered that Jimmy, his friend, had decided to feed him to Bigfoot. That was Jimmy's intention to take Larry noodling, was to feed him to Bigfoot. So Larry indicated that Jimmy attempted to get away from him so that the Sasquatch could eat Larry. Just by the way, there was no note of a Sasquatch in the area. We don't know that those exist. So
this is actual Bigfoot. So he thought Bigfoot was real.
Well, and he thought Jimmy
his friend was going to
So he murdered
feed
Jimmy.
him. Oh, poor Jimmy.
So
and Jimmy's innocent. Jimmy never
Jimmy didn't do anything but go noodling with his buddy. And Sanders allegedly, last name, Larry allegedly choked Jimmy to death near the river and then went home. No, this gets better. Then he went home, confessed to his daughter who was dating Jimmy's son. So now you murdered your friend and the father of your daughter's boyfriend's dad. Whatever.
That's a lot of steps.
This is why you don't do drugs.
Okay.
He appeared to be under the influence of something. You think? The sheriff said his statement was that Jimmy had summoned Bigfoot to come and kill him. That's why he had to kill Jimmy. So Larry happens to have outstanding warrants from 2 drug-related cases. Shocker. In 2019, he was placed on probation for 5 years for bringing meth into the jail after being arrested for public intoxication.
Yeah. So Larry was on meth.
There.
Started to be concerned about Bigfoot.
Well, Jimmy had summoned Bigfoot to come kill him.
Yikes.
What did you got, Ryan?
I thought that it was going to be like all a bad trip.
Like Jimmy.
Like I confessed to all of this, and it's like none of it happened. He was in his basement the whole time.
I wish that was
so. I'm a
Jimmy.
little bit bummed.
No,
that
Jimmy is dead.
No, Larry's dead. No, Jimmy's dead.
Jimmy's dead.
Well, and
Larry's now in the jail.
Larry's now going to be charged. He was charged with first-degree murder.
Yeah. Wow.
Because
that's still a bummer story.
Well, okay. This I don't mean to be mean. I mean, I feel bad for Jimmy's family, but
and Larry's daughter.
Okay, maybe I have a sick. I mean, I kind of chuckled at this because I thought you can't really big. That's the best story you. So that tells you he didn't come up with the story. This dude believed that this guy summoned Bigfoot.
He felt threatened in some way.
He felt like it was self-defense.
Yeah,
and they just went noodling. That's all.
They just went fishing.
Yeah, and you can actually die noodling. Did you know that? Yeah,
I did know that.
Yeah, sometimes they stick.
It's illegal in a lot of states. Right?
It is illegal. It's illegal in a lot of states. Missouri's working on that because they would like to be legal, but it's legal in Oklahoma, where a lot of people go noodling. So you can stick your arm down in there, and a fish is so big and gets a hold of you, and the noodler doesn't come up. The noodler dies. But we know that from Kathleen Madigan's skit too.
She knows a lot about noodling.
I know. She does, and it's hilarious.
Oh boy.
So, yes.
Well,
this actually, I found this story on my own, I will say, but she actually talked about this week in her podcast.
So just say no to meth.
Just say no to drugs. Yeah, don't do meth. Don't do meth. And if you get arrested for public intoxication, don't take meth into the jailhouse either.
Larry is a troubled soul.
Yeah. So
okay.
So
is this
poor
some
Jimmy.
better?
R.I.P. Jimmy. Yes. Okay. Oh my God. I thought you guys would think that was funny. So, all right. Tough crowd.
Okay, this is a high note. Before we're going to close strong.
Shout out to the ladies. Are you ready? 4 women set world record for rowing from California to Hawaii.
Wow.
Yes. An all-female rowing team broke a world record by rowing more than 2,400 nautical miles from California to Hawaii in 34 days, 14 hours, and 11 minutes.
Oh, my goodness.
So first of all,
is that even possible?
Right? I want to see
That's
this
crazy.
boat.
Yeah.
Like,
we should bring a
that's
picture.
a month.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
looked for a picture and I couldn't. I mean, the picture that they had on there, I'm like,
Wow.
surely that's not actually the boat they rode in. Maybe it was, but I think that's a month over the ocean.
Well, in the article, it's 4 women. It says a 4-man team.
Oh, no, you're reading a bottom. So there is a 4-man team that rode from San Francisco to Honolulu in 30 days. 7 hours and 30 minutes. That was in 2021.
So they beat this. The ladies
women.
beat. Okay.
Yeah, they set the record for the fastest time to make unassisted all-female team.
Good for them.
I know.
Should have them on our show. That's
that was
good.
An amazing
yeah,
story.
That's great. That's a high
Ryan and
end.
Kelly didn't seem to enjoy that one as much. I'm looking at their faces and I'm just seeing blank stares. I thought this was really cool.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Ryan, you don't.
I took my kids to Glenwood Springs over the weekend because we decided to go a little bit smaller with the vacation.
Good decision.
Went kayaking, and I just about died doing kayaking. So you're bringing that up, and it's I feel even more insignificant as a man,
right?
Because the kayak took everything out of me,
right?
This weekend, and it was just, I don't know, a couple miles. I don't even know how far I went, but I was exhausted. Did you feel
stuck at a certain point, like you might not make it back to shore at a certain point?
Yeah, I was deciding that this is my home now. I'm just gonna live here.
It's cheaper
in the middle. The boys were with my mother, so it was they were fine. I'm just gonna live in the middle of the Colorado River.
Sure. Well, there's food, there's fish. You could go noodle.
Right, noodling.
Can you noodle?
Yeah, there you go.
There's water. Can you drink? That's fresh water. Can you drink that?
Probably not.
It was not a color that I would want to drink.
Yeah. Were you concerned, really, for your well-being? Good.
No, I thought,
he has 2 kids to live for. I'm going to get home.
Not to brag, I do go to the gym regularly, so I'm I could do this, and I can. So, lesson learned.
So, hey, humility.
These are just show muscles underneath.
What you're saying is you're not ready for a 2,400 nautical mile trip.
No,
from California. To
19 probably, but not.
No, not 2,400. Yeah. I thought this was a good story.
That is a good story. Yep. That is a good story.
There you go.
And inspiring for Ryan.
Yes.
So that's
well,
good.
I don't know if it inspired him. I think he said he made him feel less like a man.
Well, it's all right. That's a very impressive feat.
Yeah.
So
well,
hey. Hey.
I like those 2 stories.
Well, good.
Today.
Well, I know our website. Check us out, copytalkpodcast.com. Yep. There's also a link if you do need some financial help, you want some budgeting help, you can contact us on that as well.
Yeah.
Where else can people find us?
So, as always, Instagram, DM us if you have questions, or we always have told people to also DM us if they want to find out more about the firm.
Yeah, Lighthouse
that sort of,
can absolutely help people.
DM.
Yeah.
But more importantly, we need our hashtag.
Yes, we do.
I have 3. First one, hashtag glazed donut face.
It's a thing. I'm serious.
We'll all have to research for
that. Hashtag don't watch the news. Probably not use that one. And you had set up last week inflation bazooka. Mm-hmm. How about inflation harpoon?
Oh.
Kind of speaks to the catfish.
Okay.
But also indicating that maybe it wasn't quite the inflation bazooka from the Fed that we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, well, and what about hashtag don't do drugs?
Just say no.
That's just a hashtag no. Always should always be in there.
Absolutely. I agree. Don't do drugs, kids. Awesome. Oh, and YouTube. Our favorite.
Check us out. Subscribe. Send it to friends.
Yeah, and then you can see what we actually
exactly
and products you can see if they're
absolutely.
On YouTube.
Well, great. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
we'll see you next week.
Have a good day.
Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Financial planning services through Lighthouse Financial LLC, a registered investment advisor. Shannon Ross is CEO and managing partner of Lighthouse Financial. Lighthouse and Cambridge are not affiliated.